My beloved child, stop right here. Before you move your finger to scroll past this moment, before you convince yourself this is just another message in your endless feed, I need you to feel something deep within your spirit. This encounter was not designed for the masses. Out of every 1,000 souls who will glance at these words today, only 7 were destined to truly absorb what I am about to reveal. Not 70, not 700, just 7. And the fact that you are still here, still reading, still feeling that unmistakable pull in your chest, tells me everything I need to know about who you really are. You did not search for this message. You did not plan to be here at this precise second. Yet here you are, and I want you to understand with absolute clarity that this is not coincidence. I orchestrated this divine appointment. I dropped these words directly into your path because the observation period that has been running quietly in the background of your entire existence just concluded 72 hours ago. What I am about to share will reframe every confusing, painful, isolating experience you have endured for the past several years. Stay with me now. Do not let your mind wander. Do not let doubt creep in before I finish speaking. You have always known deep in your core that you were different, but you could never fully articulate exactly how or why. People have called you intense. They told you that you think too much, feel too deeply, care too hard about things that others dismiss. They advised you to relax, to lighten up, to stop taking everything so seriously. But you could not change this about yourself no matter how hard you tried. You were hardwired differently from the beginning. You see patterns where others see only randomness. You feel energy shifts in rooms that others completely miss. You detect dishonesty before words are even finished leaving someone's mouth. You carry emotional weight that does not belong to you but somehow became yours to bear anyway. I see you walking into spaces and immediately sensing the tension that no one else is willing to name out loud. I see you lying awake at night processing conversations from 3 days ago that everyone else forgot within 3 hours. I see you carrying the pain of people who will never thank you for holding space for them. This is not a flaw in your design. This is your system operating exactly as I created it to operate. The reason it has always felt like too much is because you were built to carry what others simply cannot handle. You were constructed for weight. You were designed for depth. You were formed for a level of spiritual warfare that most people will never even recognize is happening around them. If this is already stirring something in you, if you feel that confirmation rising in your spirit right now, I want you to do something important. Like this video. Not for the algorithm, not for vanity metrics, but as a spiritual agreement with what I am saying to you. Let that simple action be your way of saying yes. I recognize myself in these words. I acknowledge what you are showing me about who I am. Do it now before we go any further. Listen carefully now because this next part is going to shift how you see your entire life story. Every betrayal you experienced was not random cruelty from the universe. Every failure was not proof that you are somehow defective or cursed. Every door that slammed shut in your face was not evidence that I abandoned you. You were under systematic evaluation. Every relationship that fell apart tested your capacity to love people, even when they could not love you back. Every financial crisis tested your ability to trust me when the mathematics made absolutely no logical sense. Every season of profound isolation tested whether you would compromise the core of who you are just to feel less alone in the world. I have been watching you far more closely than you realize. I saw you 8 months ago sitting in your car after that meeting trying desperately to process what just happened. I was there 5 months ago when you woke up at 3 in the morning with that inexplicable heavy feeling crushing your chest. I watched you 11 weeks ago when you typed out that message but stopped yourself from sending it at the last possible second. I saw you 19 days ago standing in line when emotion overwhelmed you for absolutely no apparent reason. These moments were not random. These were divine interruptions. Me trying to get your attention, trying to show you that I see absolutely everything you are going through, even when no one else notices or cares. Every moment you wanted to quit but refused to give up. Every night you cried yourself to sleep but still forced yourself out of bed the next morning. Every single time you chose truth over comfort, integrity over convenience. You were being measured not by human standards, not by earthly metrics, by mine. And my child, you passed. You passed tests you did not even know you were taking. You passed evaluations that had no visible scoreboard. You passed trials that no one else witnessed or validated. I need you to hear this with every fiber of your being. You are one of the 7. Not because you are perfect, not because you never doubted or struggled or wanted to quit, but because when everything in you screamed to give up, something deeper than your emotions, something stronger than your thoughts, something absolutely unshakable at your core refused to let you become less than what I built you to be. That refusal, that stubborn unwillingness to quit, even when quitting made complete sense, is exactly why you are reading these words right now. Now let me tell you what the past 9 years of your life have actually been about. You thought you were just barely surviving. You thought you were failing at life. You thought you were being punished for mistakes you made or sins you committed. But what was really happening, my child, is that you were being trained for an assignment that requires a level of internal strength that most human beings will never develop in their entire lifetime. You were not placed in the fire to be destroyed. You were placed in the fire to be refined into something so pure, so strong, so unshakable that when I release you into your actual assignment, nothing will be able to stop what I accomplish through you. Gold does not become pure by sitting comfortably on a shelf. It becomes pure only by being subjected to intense heat that burns away absolutely everything that is not gold. That is what happened to you. The relationships that abandoned you removed themselves because they completely lacked the capacity to exist in the frequency you are about to operate in. Those people were not equipped to go where you are going. The opportunities that closed were not meant for you because accepting them would have kept you small, safe, and stuck. The season of crushing isolation was not rejection. It was protection and preparation. Most people need constant validation, endless reassurance, perpetual applause from crowds. They need to see the entire finish line before they will take even the first step. They need guarantees before they move. They need proof before they will believe anything. But you, my child, you are not most people. You moved forward in complete darkness. You trusted me when you had absolutely no logical reason to trust. You kept going when every rational argument said to stop immediately. You maintained your integrity when no one was watching, and when giving up would have been completely justified and understood by everyone around you. That is precisely why you are one of the 7. The number 7 is not random or arbitrary. It is the number of completion in my kingdom. It is the number that appears when testing phases are finished and activation begins. 7 days of creation, 7 years of testing, 7 trials, 7 challenges. The 7 who are chosen are not chosen because they are lucky or special or born under the right star. They are chosen because they possess 3 specific qualities that cannot be taught in any school, cannot be faked through performance, and cannot be manufactured through effort alone. First, you have emotional depth without emotional instability. You feel everything intensely, but you do not allow those feelings to control your decisions. You can be heartbroken and still show up. You can be terrified and still move forward. You can be exhausted and still stay present. You hold space for complex, contradictory emotions without losing your center. You feel grief and gratitude simultaneously. You experience disappointment and hope in the same breath. You can be angry at someone and still love them. Most people either suppress emotions entirely and become numb, or let emotions run wild and become chaotic. You do neither. You feel fully and act wisely. This capacity was forged through years when falling apart was not an option. Second, you possess mental endurance under sustained pressure. When chaos erupts, you become calmer. When others panic, you become clearer. When situations look impossible, your mind sharpens instead of scatters. You learn to think while your heart was breaking. You learn to decide while your world was crumbling. Each hard moment built this ability to hold steady when everything shakes. This is rare. This is what your assignment requires. Third, you demonstrate moral consistency regardless of circumstances. When no one is watching, you do the right thing even when it costs you. You tell the truth even when lies would be easier. You keep your word even when breaking it would be convenient. You had countless opportunities to compromise, to cut corners, to take shortcuts. You refused every single one. That refusal cost you opportunities, relationships, advancement, and comfort. But that commitment to integrity when no one was keeping score is why you are one of the 7. Integrity is the foundation everything else builds upon. Without it, gifts become weapons. Without it, influence becomes manipulation. Without it, power becomes destruction. Now, if you are feeling something shift in your spirit as you read these words, if recognition is flooding through you right now, I want you to take another action. Comment the number 99 below this video, not as a random number, not as engagement for the sake of engagement. The number 99 represents completion just before breakthrough. It is the frequency that signals to realms you cannot see with physical eyes that you are awake, aligned, and ready to receive what has been held in reserve specifically for you. When you type those 2 digits, something shifts in the spiritual architecture surrounding your life. Doors that were locked begin to unlock. Assignments that were paused begin to activate. Do it now. Type 99 in the comments, my child. I need to tell you something about the attacks you have faced. The reason the opposition against you has been so relentless, so exhausting, so seemingly endless, is not because something is wrong with you. It is because the enemy of your soul recognized what you carry long before you did. He saw the assignment written into your DNA. He knew that if you ever fully activated into who you were created to be, his systems would begin to crumble. That is why the attacks came in waves that never seemed to stop. He planted thoughts in your mind that you are too damaged, too broken, too complicated for anyone to truly love or accept. He whispered that people left because something is fundamentally wrong with you. He replayed your worst mistakes on an endless loop in your head. He magnified every flaw, exaggerated every failure, distorted every weakness. Every single one of those thoughts was a carefully crafted lie designed to make you quit before you reached this exact moment we are in right now. The enemy knows something critically important. He knows that when you fully activate, when you step completely into your actual assignment, his grip on certain territories starts to break. That is why the warfare against you was so intense. You were not being punished by me. You were being targeted by him because you represent a genuine threat to his operations. Every attack was actually confirmation of how dangerous you are to the kingdom of darkness. But here is what that warfare accomplished that the enemy did not anticipate. It forced you to learn how to hear my voice when no other voice was available. It forced you to develop spiritual discernment when no one could confirm what you were sensing. It forced you to stand alone without falling apart. That ability to stand alone, to hear clearly in isolation, to trust your discernment when everyone thinks you are wrong, is essential for what comes next. Where you are going, you will often be the only person in the room who sees what you see. You will be the only one who senses what is really happening. You will be the only one who hears my voice giving instructions that make no sense to anyone else. If you needed a crowd to feel confident, you would crumble. But you learned how to be okay in silence and solitude when my voice was the only voice you had. That is why you are ready now. That is why the evaluation period just closed. That is why I am speaking to you at this exact moment. The training phase is complete. The testing is finished. The preparation that felt like it would never end has served its full purpose. You are not the same person you were 9 years ago. You are not even the same person you were 9 months ago. Every trial stripped away another layer of false identity. Every loss removed another attachment to things that were never meant to define you. Every betrayal exposed another area where you were trusting humans more than you were trusting me. And now what remains is the purest, strongest, most authentic version of who I created you to be. The real you, not the version you performed to please others, not the version you constructed to fit in, not the version you built to protect yourself. The real you, and that version is powerful beyond what you currently comprehend. Now let me tell you what the next 12 months look like if you fully commit to this assignment. In 60 days, your financial situation will shift in ways that defy logic. Not because you worked harder, but because favor is being released. An unexpected check will arrive. A surprise opportunity will present itself. A debt will be resolved. This will be your first confirmation that everything I am saying is real. In 90 days, watch for a specific call or email from someone you have not heard from in over a year. They will mention something they need help with. You will realize that everything you went through perfectly equipped you to provide what they need. This is the first deployment of your training. In 4 months, you will be in a completely different environment. New city, new role, new circle, new level. The transition will happen faster than you expect. One week everything will look the same. The next week you will be packing and preparing to move. People will ask what happened. You will not be able to fully explain it because things that should take years will happen in weeks. In 6 months, you will have a platform, a sphere of influence. People will come to you for guidance, wisdom, clarity. You will feel unqualified. But I will remind you that I have been preparing you for this for 9 years. Every hard season built understanding that most people do not possess. You earned this authority through experience. In 9 months, something you thought was dead will resurrect. A dream you buried, a vision you gave up on, a relationship you thought was finished. I will breathe life back into it. It will look different, better, bigger, more aligned. You will recognize it as the same vision but evolved. In 12 months, you will look back at this moment and realize this was the turning point. You will remember where you were when you read these words. Everything you see 12 months from now will trace back to what you choose to do in the next 12 hours. Share this message right now. I am not asking, I am instructing. Share it with 3 people who are silently struggling, who are questioning whether they can keep going, who are wondering if any of this is worth it. When you share this, you become part of delivering the same message to someone else who is one of the 7. You become a carrier of hope to someone who desperately needs to hear my voice speaking directly to their situation. But all of this, every single promise I just described, requires immediate obedience from you. Not obedience next week when you feel more ready. Not obedience next month when circumstances look better. Obedience right now in this moment while my voice is still fresh in your spirit. Go back and do what I have already asked. Like this video if you have not already. Comment 99, share with 3 people. Subscribe to this channel with notifications turned on. These are not suggestions, these are instructions. And your willingness to follow simple, small instructions is a direct test of whether you can be trusted with larger, more complex instructions later. If you cannot obey me in small things that cost you nothing, I cannot trust you with the big things that will require everything. So obey now, demonstrate with action that you are serious about this assignment. Show me through simple obedience that you are not just emotionally moved, but actually ready to move. I need to be clear about something important. There are real consequences to saying no to divine assignments. Assignments that are rejected do not simply disappear into thin air. They get reassigned to someone else who is willing to say yes. Right now in this moment there are people who will close this message. They will dismiss it. They will tell themselves they will come back to it later. They will not. And 6 months from now, they will still be stuck in the exact same frustrating cycle they are in today, wondering why nothing ever changes for them. You do not get to stay neutral in this moment. Silence is a choice. Inaction is a choice. Passivity is a choice. And every choice has a consequence. The consequence of obedience is acceleration. The consequence of disobedience is repetition. You are standing at a fork in the road right now. One path leads to everything I just described, all the promises, all the breakthrough, all the activation. The other path leads you right back to the familiar struggle you have been cycling through for years. The decision must be made now, not tomorrow, not next week. Now I know some of you are hesitating. I can feel the resistance rising in your spirit. You are thinking this sounds too good to be true. You are wondering if this is real or just hype designed to manipulate your emotions. Let me settle that question for you directly. The fact that you are feeling resistance right now, the fact that doubt is creeping in, the fact that part of you wants to dismiss this, that is actually confirmation that this is absolutely real. The enemy only fights what is legitimate. He does not waste time or energy on fake promises or empty words that carry no real power. The moment you started reading this message, hell went into panic mode, because they know exactly what happens when one of the 7 fully activates into their assignment. Chains break, captives get freed, darkness gets exposed, lies get shattered, entire systems get disrupted. That is why you are feeling doubt, fear, skepticism right now. That is not your intuition warning you. That is interference trying to stop you from stepping into what you were created for. Recognize it for exactly what it is, and then make a decision anyway. Choose faith over fear. Choose obedience over doubt. Choose movement over paralysis. Comment right now. Type these exact words. I am ready for my assignment. Do not paraphrase it. Do not change the wording. Type it exactly as I said it. I am ready for my assignment. This is your declaration. This is you stepping across the threshold. This is you saying yes to what you were created for. And when you type those words, angels receive authorization to move on your behalf. Resources get released. Doors get unlocked. Assignments get activated. My child, you need to understand something about yourself that you have been trying to deny or minimize for years. You are not ordinary, you never were. The sooner you stop trying to fit into normal, the sooner you will step into extraordinary. You were built for weight that would crush normal people. You were designed for pressure that would break average individuals. You were created for impact that extends far beyond what you can see with your natural eyes. The last 9 years stripped away everything that was not essential, so that what remains in you now is pure, tested, unshakable, and ready. You are one of the 7. You passed the evaluation. The assignment is now active. The countdown has started. What you do in the next 48 hours will determine what you experience in the next 48 months. So move now, respond now, obey now. Within the next 7 days, I am going to show you 3 specific signs that confirm everything I have said to you is real. First, you are going to see the number 7 or 777 repeatedly in places you do not normally look. Not because you are looking for it, but because I am going to put it directly in your path over and over again. Second, someone from your past is going to reach out to you unexpectedly with a very specific message. Pay attention to what they say. There will be a phrase or a sentence that connects directly back to something I have been speaking to you about privately. Third, you are going to have a dream so vivid, so clear, so detailed that you will remember every single element of it when you wake up. Do not dismiss these signs. Do not rationalize them away as coincidence. They are confirmations that the spiritual realm is responding directly to your obedience in this moment. Pay attention, stay alert. Watch carefully. Your assignment begins now. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. The 7 have been called. The evaluation is complete. The activation is live. You are one of them. Stop questioning it, stop doubting it, accept it, walk in it, become it fully. Everything you have been through was preparation for this exact moment. The pain was not wasted. The tears were not meaningless. The isolation was not abandonment. It was all absolutely necessary to build in you what is required for what is coming next. You are ready. The only question that remains is this: will you step forward into what I have prepared, or will you step back into what is familiar and safe? The choice is yours, but the window is closing. Do what I asked. Do it all right now. Like, comment 99, share with 3 people, subscribe, comment I am ready for my assignment. Your breakthrough is on the other side of your obedience. This is not the end of your story, my beloved child. This is the beginning of everything I have been preparing you for since before you were born.